Everyone is telling you that if your business isn't AI first by tomorrow, you're already dead. It's an AI gold rush out there, and the pressure is on. But what if I told you that chasing the latest AI trend is actually the fastest way to burn through your capital? Think about it. The headlines are screaming, "Innovate or die," pushing every company to jump on the AI bandwagon. But this frantic chase often leads to massive spending on solutions that don't fit your core business. You end up with expensive tools that don't solve real problems, draining your resources without delivering any real value. It's like buying a pickaxe during a gold rush without knowing where to dig. The smart move isn't to chase every shiny new object. It's to be strategic. Understand your actual needs first, then find the right tool for the job. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more insights. We are living through the greatest hype cycle in history. It feels like every day there's a new AI tool promising to change everything. From the boardroom to the break room, the pressure is on. There's this constant push to just do something with AI to jump on the bandwagon before it's too late. But here's the thing no one is talking about. This mad dash is causing leaders and businesses to completely ignore the massive hidden costs lurking just beneath the surface. It's not just about the subscription fees. We're talking about wasted time, failed projects, and solutions that create more problems than they solve. The cost of rushing in without a real strategy is far greater than the cost of being left behind. Are you ready to see what's really at stake? Follow along to find out how to navigate the AI hype without getting burned. Ever wonder why so many tech pioneers, the ones who are first to market, end up crashing and burning? It's a story we see time and time again. Everyone's so focused on the shiny new thing, that next big thing that promises to change everything. But what's really happening behind the scenes? In this series, we're pulling back the curtain. We're not just talking about success. We're digging into why first to market often means first to fail. We'll explore the crippling technical debt that builds up when you rush development. We'll untangle the absolute chaos of messy data that no one wants to admit they have. And most importantly, we'll talk about the human cost, the burnout, and fatigue that plagues even the most brilliant teams. This is the stuff no one is talking about. Ready to see the real story? Subscribe so you don't miss an episode. It's time to stop chasing trends and start building a strategy. Welcome to Part 1. The AI Mirage: Why Chasing Trends is a Trap, Masterclass 01. Are you feeling the pressure to jump on every new AI trend? It seems like every week there is a new must-have AI tool that promises to revolutionize your business. You see your competitors bragging about their new AI-powered this or that, and the FOMO, the fear of missing out, is real. You start thinking, if I don't adopt this right now, will I be left in the dust? I get it, the hype is massive. But chasing every shiny new AI object can be a huge, hidden drain on your resources. It's not just about the subscription fees. It's about the time, the energy, and the focus you lose. Let's talk about the real costs. First, there's the financial drain. Many of these tools come with hefty price tags. Subscribing to 5, 10, or even more AI services can quickly add up, eating into your budget without a clear return on investment. Then there's the implementation cost. It takes time for your team to learn a new system, integrate it into your existing workflow, and actually get it to work properly. This learning curve means a temporary dip in productivity, and let's be honest, sometimes that dip isn't so temporary. Every hour your team spends trying to master a new tool is an hour they're not spending on core business activities that actually generate revenue. But the biggest hidden cost, in my opinion, is the strategic distraction. When you're constantly chasing the next big thing, you're always in a reactive mode. You're not making decisions based on your own long-term strategy. You're just reacting to the market buzz. This leads to what I call tool stack chaos. You end up with a messy collection of different AI tools that don't talk to each other, creating data silos and making your processes more complicated, not less. Instead of a streamlined, efficient operation, you have a digital Frankenstein's monster that's clunky and hard to manage. And all this chasing can lead to burnout for you and your team. The constant pressure to adapt and change is exhausting. So what should you be doing instead? Should you just ignore AI altogether? Absolutely not. AI is an incredibly powerful force for business growth. The key is to be strategic, not reactive. Instead of asking, what's the hottest new AI tool? Start by asking, what are the biggest challenges or bottlenecks in my business right now? Start with a problem-first approach. Identify a real, specific problem you need to solve. Is your customer service team overwhelmed? Are your marketing campaigns not converting? Is your content creation process too slow? Once you've clearly defined the problem, then you can start looking for an AI solution that is specifically designed to solve that problem. Don't start with the shiny tool and try to find a problem for it. That's backward. Do your homework. Before you commit to any tool, conduct a thorough evaluation. Look for case studies and reviews from businesses similar to yours. Most importantly, run a small pilot project. Test the tool with a small group or on a limited task before you decide to roll it out across the entire company. This allows you to see the real-world impact and ROI without a massive upfront investment or disruption. Think of it as dating before you get married. You want to make sure it's a good fit. And here's a crucial step. Focus on integration. The most powerful AI strategy isn't about having the most tools. It's about how well your tools work together. Look for solutions that integrate seamlessly with the systems you already use, like your CRM or project management software. The goal is to create a cohesive ecosystem that automates workflows and shares data effortlessly, not a collection of isolated apps. A single, well-integrated tool that solves a core problem is infinitely more valuable than a dozen standalone gadgets. The future isn't about having the most AI. It's about using AI the smartest. It's about being intentional and strategic. By focusing on solving your specific business problems, doing your due diligence, and prioritizing integration, you can harness the true power of AI to build a stronger, more efficient, and more profitable business. You can stop chasing trends and start building a real competitive advantage. So take a deep breath. Step back from the hype. Look at your own business, identify your unique challenges, and then, and only then, go find the right AI tool for the job. You'll save money, time, and a whole lot of stress. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more practical business insights. See you in the next one. To understand why businesses are chasing AI trends so aggressively, we need to look at the engine behind it, the AI hype machine. This machine is powerful, sophisticated, and designed to influence behavior at scale. It's not accidental. It's not organic. It's engineered. Let's break down how this hype machine works, why it's so effective, and how it manipulates business decisions without leaders even realizing it. We begin with the first driver, technology companies. Every major AI company, whether it's a startup or a trillion-dollar corporation, has one goal: adoption. They need users, they need market share, they need momentum, and the fastest way to achieve that is through hype. They release bold claims, dramatic demos, and visionary statements about the future. They position every new feature as a breakthrough. They frame every update as a revolution. And because AI is still new for most leaders, these claims feel exciting, urgent, and even intimidating. Leaders think, if we don't adopt this now, we'll fall behind. That fear is exactly what the hype machine is designed to trigger. The second driver is influencers and content creators. This is where the hype becomes emotional. Influencers create viral videos showing AI doing incredible things, writing code, generating images, automating workflows, analyzing data, creating marketing campaigns. And they present it in a way that makes it look effortless, instant, and magical. But what they don't show is the context. They don't show the limitations. They don't show the failures. They don't show the hours of editing behind the scenes. They don't show the real operational challenges businesses face when trying to integrate these tools. Influencers are not trying to mislead you, but their incentives are not aligned with your business reality. Their goal is views, engagement, and affiliate commissions. Your goal is operational stability, profitability, and long-term growth. These are not the same. The third driver is media narratives. News outlets love dramatic stories. AI will replace 300 million jobs. AI will transform every industry. AI will reshape the global economy. These headlines generate clicks, but they also create panic. They make leaders feel like they're already behind, even if their business is performing well. The fourth driver is competitive pressure. When one company announces an AI initiative, others feel obligated to follow. It becomes a signaling game, a way to show investors, customers, and employees that you're innovative. But often, these announcements are more about perception than performance. Companies adopt AI tools not because they need them, but because they don't want to look outdated. The fifth driver is internal pressure from employees. Teams see AI everywhere. They see people online automating tasks, building workflows, and creating content faster than ever. They start asking leadership, why aren't we using this? And leaders, wanting to support their teams, rush into adoption without a strategy. The sixth driver is fear of missing out, FOMO. This is perhaps the most powerful force of all. Leaders fear that if they don't adopt AI now, they'll lose their competitive edge. They fear being left behind. They fear being seen as slow or outdated. And fear is a terrible foundation for decision-making. All of these forces combine to create a hype machine that is incredibly persuasive. It pushes leaders into reactive decisions. It makes them feel like they must adopt AI immediately, even if they don't have a clear use case. It creates urgency where none exists. But here's the key insight: hype is not the same as value. Just because a tool is popular doesn't mean it's useful for your business. Just because a model is powerful doesn't mean it fits your workflow. Just because a feature is impressive doesn't mean it solves a real problem. The AI hype machine is loud, emotional, and relentless. But your business decisions must be calm, strategic, and grounded in reality. In the next section, we're going to explore why leaders feel so much pressure to adopt AI and how that pressure leads to costly mistakes. Alright, so we've talked about how the AI hype machine works, but now we need to get into the psychology behind it. Why do so many leaders feel this intense pressure to adopt AI? Even when they don't really get it, don't have a clear use for it, and their company isn't even set up to support it. Let's be real, most leaders aren't adopting AI because they want to. They're doing it because they feel like they have to. This pressure comes from all sides, and it messes with their decision-making in some really powerful ways. Let's break it down. First up, competitive pressure. This is the classic everyone else is doing it mindset. It's one of the biggest drivers in business, the fear of falling behind. When a competitor announces they're using AI, even if it's just for show, other companies feel like they have to follow suit. Leaders start thinking, if they're using AI, we have to use AI, or if they're automating, we have to automate. It creates this huge domino effect where companies grab AI tools not because they need them, but just so they don't look old-fashioned. The funny thing is, most of these competitors aren't even using AI well, they're just trying to look innovative. Next, there's investor pressure. Investors love a good buzzword, right? They love hearing that a company is leveraging AI to scale. So, when leaders go into those big investor meetings, they get hammered with questions like, what's your AI strategy? Or, how will AI cut your costs? These questions create a sense of panic. Leaders feel like they need a perfect answer, even if it's completely made up. This leads to rushed decisions and AI projects that exist for one reason only: to keep investors happy. Then you have internal pressure. Your own employees want AI too. They see it all over social media, automating tasks, generating content, working faster. So they start asking their bosses, hey, why aren't we using this tool? Or, can we get AI to do this process? Leaders want to support their teams and be seen as modern, but without a real strategy, this just leads to chaos. Every department ends up with a different AI tool, creating a fragmented and confusing mess. And of course, there's media pressure. The media loves a scary headline. AI will replace 300 million jobs, or AI will reshape the global economy. These headlines create fear, not just for employees, but for leaders too. They think we need to adopt AI before we become obsolete. But making decisions based on fear? That's almost always a recipe for disaster. Fear-based decisions are bad decisions. Let's not forget social pressure, or what I call the LinkedIn effect. LinkedIn is basically a highlight reel of AI success stories. You see posts like, I automated my entire workflow with AI, or this AI tool saved me 20 hours a week. But what they don't show you are the failures, the limitations, the messy parts, and the hours of trial and error. Leaders see these posts and feel like they're failing or falling behind. So they impulsively buy tools without a strategy. This leads to a more personal pressure that nobody really talks about. Leaders, especially experienced ones, don't want to look out of touch. They don't want to be the one person in the room who doesn't understand AI. They don't want to be seen as old school, so they overcompensate. They rush to adopt tools and make big announcements about AI, not because it's the right strategic move, but because it protects their image. And finally, it all boils down to FOMO, the fear of missing out, but at the executive level. Leaders are terrified of missing the next big thing, falling behind their rivals, and losing their relevance. This fear drives impulsive decisions, and impulsive decisions lead to very expensive mistakes. So what's the core problem here? All this pressure completely overrides strategy. When leaders feel pressured, they stop thinking critically. They stop asking the right questions. They just react. And this reactive approach is the root cause of tool overload, operational chaos, wasted money, and a company that's totally lost its way. In our next video, we're going to dive into how this pressure creates the illusion of innovation, and why so many companies think they re-innovating when all they really doing is adding more complexity. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching Innovation. We mistake all this activity for actual achievement. But let's be real for a second. If these AI activities aren't making your processes faster, your products better, or your customers happier, then what are you really doing? You're just adding more complexity, more tasks, and more expenses. It's like buying a brand new top-of-the-line sports car, but only ever driving it in rush hour traffic. You have all this incredible power at your fingertips, but you're not actually going anywhere faster. The real goal of AI adoption isn't to just use AI. The goal is to solve business problems and improve efficiency. Instead of asking, what cool AI tool can we use today? We should be asking, what is our biggest bottleneck and how can AI help us fix it? The focus has to shift from activity to outcome. Let's take a practical example. Say your marketing team spends hours every week writing social media posts. You could introduce an AI writing tool. The wrong way is to just tell them, here, use this. They might play with it, generate a few posts, but their core workflow doesn't change. They're still spending the same amount of time, just with a new toy. The right way? You first analyze the process. You find out that the real time sink is brainstorming and approvals. So you implement the AI tool specifically to generate a dozen initial ideas in minutes. Then you set up a streamlined approval process. Now the AI isn't just an activity, it's a solution. You've cut down brainstorming time by 90%, and your team is freed up to focus on strategy and performance analysis. That's real, measurable impact. This is the difference between activity and achievement. Activity is running workshops. Achievement is upskilling your team so they can automate 30% of their repetitive tasks. Activity is subscribing to 5 different AI platforms. Achievement is integrating one platform that demonstrably cuts your operational costs by 15%. So, how do you escape the AI activity trap? Start with a simple audit. Look at every AI initiative in your company and ask 3 questions. 1. What specific problem is this supposed to solve? 2. How are we measuring its success? Are we tracking time saved, revenue increased, or errors reduced? And 3. Is this making our work simpler or more complicated? If you can't give clear, data-backed answers to these questions, you might be stuck in the trap. It's not about abandoning AI. It's about being smarter and more intentional with it. True innovation isn't about having the most AI tools. It's about getting the most value out of the ones you have. It's about turning the illusion of progress into real, tangible results. Stop chasing the hype and start chasing efficiency. Focus on solving one small, annoying problem with AI this week. Measure the before and after. Once you see that real impact, you'll never settle for just being busy again. You'll be on the path to genuine AI-powered transformation. What do you think? Have you seen the AI activity trap in action? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on making technology work for you. See you in the next one. Let's talk about money, because this is where the hidden cost of chasing AI trends becomes painfully, undeniably clear. When businesses get caught up in the hype, jumping from one shiny tool to the next, following whatever is trending online, they don't just lose time, they lose money, real money. Money that disappears without anyone noticing until it's way too late. The truth is, trend chasing is one of the most expensive habits in modern business. And it's not just because the tools are expensive, though many are. It's not because consultants charge high fees, which they absolutely do. It's because trend chasing creates constant churn, constant switching, constant experimentation without direction, and constant investment, without any real return. Let's break down the real financial cost, the cost most companies never actually calculate. First up, you have multiple subscriptions, the silent monthly drain. Every time a new AI tool goes viral, companies rush to sign up. They subscribe to AI writing tools, design tools, automation tools, analytics tools, you name it. Each one costs maybe $20, $50, or even $200 a month. Individually, these numbers look small. But collectively, they become a silent budget leak. Most companies don't even use half the tools they subscribe to. They forget to cancel, forget who signed up, or even why they signed up in the first place. And the subscriptions keep renewing month after month. Next, let's talk about training costs. Every new tool requires training. Teams need workshops, tutorials, and time to practice. Training is not free, fast, or simple. When companies chase trends, they end up training their teams on tools they'll just abandon 3 months later. That's not innovation, that's just waste. Then you have integration fees, the cost of making all these new tools actually talk to each other. Every time a company adopts a new AI tool, it needs to be integrated into their existing systems. This means APs, custom workflows, and developer hours. Integration is expensive and slow. And when the company inevitably switches tools, which trend chasers always do, they pay for integration all over again. This often leads to hiring consultants. When companies feel overwhelmed by AI, they bring in experts who are not cheap. They might charge by the hour or thousands for a project. And what happens? The company follows the advice for a month, then a new AI trend appears, and the entire strategy is thrown out the window. The consultants get paid, but the company gets nothing. This creates a graveyard of abandoned tools. Every company has one. Tools that were purchased, tested, implemented, and celebrated for about 2 weeks, then completely forgotten. Abandoned tools aren't just wasted money. They're a wasted opportunity. They represent lost time, focus, and momentum. It even erodes trust from your own employees who are tired of the constant changes. But the most expensive cost of all is the lost productivity during these transitions. Every single time a company switches tools, productivity plummets. Teams have to learn the new system, rebuild their workflows, and re-establish old habits. During this transition, output slows down, deadlines slip, and confusion takes over. This directly affects revenue, performance, and morale. And behind all of this is a hidden cost no one talks about: decision fatigue. Every new AI trend forces leaders to make decisions. Should we adopt this? Should we switch? Should we invest in training? This constant decision-making drains energy, slows strategic thinking, and creates a culture of uncertainty. Here's the bottom line. Most companies don't track these costs. If they did, they'd realize something shocking. Chasing AI trends is far more expensive than building a real, solid AI strategy. The financial drain isn't obvious at first. It doesn't show up on a single invoice or trigger any alarms. But over time, it becomes a silent budget killer. The companies that will win in the AI era are not the ones who chase every new trend. They are the ones who build systems, capability, and strategy. They are the ones who build discipline. Because AI is not about buying tools. It's about building a sustainable advantage. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe for more insights on navigating the world of AI effectively. See you in the next one. We've talked about the financial cost of chasing every new AI trend. But today, we need to talk about something even more dangerous, something that drains your organization from the inside out: operational chaos. Because when businesses blindly follow the latest AI hype, the damage isn't just to the budget. It's in your workflow. It's in your company culture. It's in the day-to-day rhythm of how you get things done. Chasing trends doesn't just waste money, it breaks your operations. And the worst part? Most leaders don't even see the operational damage until it's way too late. So let's break down this hidden operational cost, the cost that silently destroys productivity, morale, and momentum. First, there's the constant tool switching. The organization never gets a chance to stabilize. Every time a new AI tool goes viral, companies jump ship. They switch from one writing tool to another, one analytics platform to the next. Each switch requires new training, new workflows, new documentation, and new habits. And just when your team finally gets the hang of it, a new trend appears and the whole cycle starts over again. This creates a culture of permanent transition, a workplace that never settles and never truly masters anything. Next, you get severe workflow disruption. Processes break faster than they can be built. Every tool has its own logic, different buttons, different layouts, different rules. When you're constantly changing tools, your workflows become incredibly unstable. Your teams end up spending more time fixing broken processes, rebuilding automations, and rewriting standard operating procedures than actually doing their work. They're stuck relearning basic tasks over and over. This isn't innovation. It's operational chaos disguised as progress. This leads directly to my third point: employee frustration. Nothing wears down your team more than constant change without a clear purpose. When leaders chase trends, employees feel confused, overwhelmed, and unsupported. They start asking, why are we switching again? Didn't we just learn the last tool? What's wrong with the one we had? This kind of trend chasing doesn't just break workflows. It breaks the trust between your team and leadership. And once that trust is gone, productivity collapses. Fourth, your entire organization loses focus. Every new AI trend becomes a shiny new distraction. Instead of focusing on customers, strategy, and quality, teams get pulled into endless DMOS trials, experiments, and internal debates about which tool to use next. The organization becomes reactive instead of strategic, busy instead of productive. Chasing trends effectively turns your company into a permanent beta test, always experimenting but never executing. Fifth, this creates cultural instability. A strong company culture relies on stability, clarity, and shared habits. When tools are constantly changing, documentation becomes outdated, training becomes irrelevant, and standards become inconsistent. People stop investing their time and energy into learning a system because they know it'll probably be replaced in a few months anyway. This creates a culture of temporary effort, where nothing feels permanent, so nothing feels worth mastering. And it's not just the team feeling the pressure. My sixth point is leadership overload. Every new AI trend forces leaders into a cycle of decision fatigue. Should we adopt this? Should we replace our current tool? Should we retrain the team? This constant decision-making drains leadership's energy, making them more reactive and less strategic. Trend chasing doesn't just exhaust employees. It exhausts the very people meant to be steering the ship. This all results in a total loss of momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in business, but it requires stability and consistency. Every time you switch tools, you hit the reset button. Your team never reaches peak performance because they're always starting over from square one. This is the hidden cost that quietly kills your growth. Finally, all this activity creates the illusion of progress. It feels like you're innovating. It feels like you're moving forward. But really, it's just noise. It's motion without direction, activity without achievement. Real progress comes from depth, mastery, and strategic execution. Trend chasing replaces all of that with shallow, frantic experimentation. So what's the bottom line? The operational cost of chasing AI trends is massive. It creates constant tool switching, workflow disruption, employee frustration, and a total loss of focus and momentum. Being innovative doesn't mean adopting the most tools. The companies that will win in the AI era are the ones who adopt the *right* tools with clarity, purpose, and discipline. Because AI isn't about chasing trends. It's about building strong, stable systems that last. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button for more insights on building a smarter, more effective business. See you in the next one.